It's kind of nice working with wood. This corner here wasn't square, and it only took me about 5 seconds on the sander to get that squared up. So anyway, when I put this down on here, okay, I could put it flush. I don't want to do that though, because on the next piece, it's not going to be on the next bracket. I'm not going to have a machined edge for this outer edge, so I don't want to leave that finish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step this in just a little bit, 30/2 of an inch. I'm going to step it in here and here so that when I do run the router around it, there's a little bit of meat there to come off. Okay, and then I'll get the exact same finish all the way around. Okay, so now let's take the straight edge. If you guys don't know this, these things come apart. There's a little piece in there, you got to kind of put it back in the channel there and do that with, but I want to get a line one end to the other there. And then I want to space myself off. Leave myself some space here for saw blade to go through. Leave myself some space on the back side there. And you might be able to see there, there's a 1/16 of an inch there from where the pencil touches down to the metal anyway. So I've got plenty of clearance in there. Should have plenty, provided I'm paying attention when I make the cut. So you push up against the spring here and just stick it back in there. Boring tidbit for the day. Okay, so what that gives me now is now I can set a cut line here. Alright, so I like that. I got a nice chunk of what you can't see there. I've got a nice chunk of aluminum sitting over here for another project, so I've compressed that down in instead of having one long thin strip piece at the top there. Well, this is what I'm going to attempt to do with it. Attempt to cut it with. I know I can cut it with the corded one. It's got a lot more horsepower and everything like that, but this blade is nice and small and everything, thin. I should be able to do it with this. We'll see. But one thing, just to give you an idea here, okay? Normally in wood, a lot of times in wood, you know, you pull this down so where you're not much further below the thickness of your material. Okay, well if I do that, then the arc of my cut becomes way longer, and I'm trying to cut a whole lot more metal than if I do it this way. And then the arc of my cut becomes short, a little over a ½ an inch. So I want to make sure that the blade goes through as far as I can get it through. Unless, of course, there's some other consideration for something that's underneath it, but in this case there's not. Hopefully I got enough battery to get through this. I'm sure it's going to be obnoxiously loud. So basically, on to the cutting, and we'll see how it goes. I can always pull out the other saw. I've got a full face shield on, and I put a long sleeve shirt on too, just to help keep this stuff from, you know, skewering me. Alright. As long as I don't try to turn it too much, it should work. Like butter. Alright. Maybe not the best thing for your saw, but I've got two of these, identical. The other one had a chipped blade, so I didn't use that. This one is an old blade I've had on there since I bought it. I have new blades sitting around waiting to go on, so, you know, if I kill this one, no big deal. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Oh. So not the straightest, not the best cut, but, you know, beat the hell out of standing at the bandsaw for 5 minutes. Okay, this is how I want to mount it in here, and obviously I'm not going to be able to spread that vise far enough, okay? I don't think I can get it far enough even if I just put this jaw on this side. But if I put this jaw over here, you know, I should be able to do that, not even, and only have to move one jaw. And then it gives me a place to hold the load bearing and stuff like that. So I think I might have a parallel that's exactly as tall as this too. I'll check when I have it off, and I can put that under this side. So let's move that jaw. Ooh. Well, let's see. I got a feeling that screw in there got a little loose. All right. Okay, so if I tighten that down too much, it puts a lot of drag on the vise, but you can see it doesn't move around anymore. So it loosened up. Yeah, that's not too bad. I can live with that. I'll bet a Kurt wouldn't do that. This is not a Kurt. If I could afford a Kurt, I wouldn't have a Harbor Freight mill. Okay, so let's see here. Now you could kind of call this cheating. I'm leaving that roughly 30 thou around the edge there. Okay, everything is relative from this hole on the other diagram that I have, okay? I measured everything from that hole, so I'll have to kind of pay attention to the fact that it's upside down. But now that I have it there, I can 0-0 that and actually mark on here, you know, which SDM point it is. And then when I turn it around, I can line up the same hole on this side. And then basically go to each one of the SDM points without having to, you know, really pay attention to it being, you know, 2.552. So that will be the plan. Yeah, because the outline at this point is a little fluid. Once the holes are relative to each other, I could put them in the middle of the plate here and then cut the outline. Waste of aluminum. Error in my ways here. See, I should have moved the second jaw back here. That would have put this aluminum plate back further. I can't quite reach. You know, I'm still 1.5 inches or so, which is about that, from being able to reach this hole. So I get to unclamp it, move the jaw, and then find this point again, and then try to come out here and reach it. Okay. You know, if I had a CNC or whatever and had I indicated off the edge here, you know, it'd be a little easier to go back and find where that point is. But I arbitrarily picked that point so that I could have the edge to cut down later. Okay. I'm sitting here going, oh, holy crap. Well, this dimension, 2755, is from center to center. I didn't realize doing the CAD work, I measured it to the edge here. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God, that doesn't line up. What the hell? Okay, so this dimension needs to be 2.755. Same as the other one. Don't have to be too bright to be me. Alright, and since I'm doing this one, that's going to be 68. That'll be 69. Okay, so let's go to 2755. Hey, that looks a lot better. Okay, that's set. Let's go up to 68. 0. Drill. Oh, yeah, I better remember the big one in the middle. That one's kind of important. Alright, so I guess that's going to be 70. And that one is not measured. It's not measured on there. It is measured on here. It's 1.377 and 172. So I guess I'll draw those into here. Good grief. Hey, well, you know, I keep saying I'm a beginner. I'm an amateur. This is part of the learning curve. You know, pay a little bit more attention next time. Alright, all drilled. They're a little off from that drawing because I had left a bigger gap down the edge, so I moved it over so I don't have to cut as much off of here with the router. So then I can, when I trace the pattern back on here again, then I can cut it out fairly close. I'm going to leave, you know, like a 1/16 of an inch all the way around and then do it with the router. I'm not going to try to route all this big metal out of the way here. So that's what's going to happen. set it on the paper so that it would slide. I knew the paper would cut quite easily. I didn't want it to, the metal to stick on the metal, because this is aluminum as well. And I probably would have got a lot of jerking. So, alright, well that's the big cut in half. I can whittle it down a little more now.